Approaching the 2025-26 SCAC Men's and Women's Swimming and Diving Media Days. Today, we're taking a dive into the McMurry University Men's and Women's Swimming and Diving programs. The Warhawks will once again be led as they head into the season under the guidance of head coach Mark Jedow, along with leadership from senior Harrison Brown on the men's side and junior Natalie Liles on the women's side. And Coach Harrison, Natalie, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Coach, we'll open things up with you heading into your third season as the head coach of these two programs. I'm interested just, from what you've learned over the course of the previous two seasons, how did that sort of help shape the focus of the offseason? What were some things that you felt like were areas of focus and concern, going into to sort of set up here as we get it prepared to year three?
Well, I think one of the big things was just making sure that we were getting back to our roots of being technique oriented. So we spent a lot of time talking about technique. We've been talking about building core strength, taking care of ourselves inside and outside the pool, health-wise. And, I think for the most part, we've done a pretty good job of that. This year we came in different intensity level, different level of effort in the water. We've changed up the workouts quite a bit in the pool. They're not as long and as we've had in the past in terms of volume, but our intensity is much higher in what we're expecting out of the athletes.
Harrison, coming into this year's senior season, I know it's a big year for you, stepping into a leadership role as one of the senior leaders. How have you embraced that? What has maybe changed within your mindset as one of the senior leaders, and just how excited are you to be heading into this season for you?
I'm really excited. Heading into my last season, it's a lot to fight for, a lot to swim for. And yeah, I'm really excited. We got a good group of freshmen who they're coming in every day. They're challenging us to races after practice, which is just really exciting to see that they want to race us and get better against us and just put in a little extra work every day.
Natalie, what's motivating this women's program coming into this season, and how have you kind of seen the chemistry, start to develop with this team, both, in and out of the water?
I have to say, with half of our girls coming in as incoming freshmen, it's created more of a drive and excitement to be a part of a team and welcome in those freshmen and take them on as family. And the chemistry with it has been a whole sister dynamic of it instead of all like the different class levels. The freshmen have really brought a new excitement and enjoyment to practices.
Coach, it's fun to hear kind of the excitement from the two student athletes and just, from you kind of hearing those adjustments you're constantly making to continue to grow these programs. So, going into this season, what do you kind of hope the identity of these two programs are? What are you really looking to really be constants with these two teams heading into this season?
I think a constant is that we're always striving to get 1% better every day at everything we do. We focus on technique every single practice. And the other parts of the identity is that they really have gelled together well as a group this year. And I think as a term as identity, I think this is the tightest the bunch has been since my arrival. And as Natalie said, the freshmen, the girls have really bonded together super well. And Harrison talking about the guys, the freshman boys wanting to race everybody. And they chuckle and laugh because every day it's a fun experience. I mean, we had one yesterday or the day before was wanting to race our assistant coach, Sam, and everybody's like, no, don't race Sam. Guess it was the deal would have been if Sam won, they would have had doubles all week long, early morning. And they were not, they're like, no, don't do that. But the excitement and energy that they're bringing, it's been a lot of fun.
Harrison, where have you seen growth and improvement with this team from last year to this year? What are some things you've noticed, just being on deck, being in these training sessions earlier that, are signs that are exciting for you, going into this season?
It's really exciting seeing just how well the whole men's team is bonded already, just in the short amount of practices we've had or in the last couple of weeks. It's just everyone's been really meshed together really well, which is something that it normally has taken us a lot longer into the season that we normally don't get to this early. Guys they've already broken out of their shell and they're already making friends, and it's really great to see that already.
Natalie, we talked before coming on that I just don't feel like fans have a full appreciation of the dedication and the responsibility and work that goes into being a collegiate swimmer. And I'm just wondering if you could kind of take me through a typical training week, what that looks like for you there at the McMurry program, and what's your favorite part about those typical training weeks throughout the season.
Right now we're doing 5 a.m. practices 4 days a week, and then later in the day we do 4 days where we do night practice at 4 p.m. and then every Saturday morning we have practice. And so getting up at 5 a.m. is kind of challenging sometimes. It's kind of fun when the underclassmen have to go wake up the upperclassmen because the underclassmen are more excited about practices. But getting up together and working hard in the pool and then having a little bit of fun in dry lands, as well as showing up in the evening, and then most of the time doing a team bonding or dinner or something after practice helps a lot. But then when we get to Saturday morning, we get up and race and challenge ourselves a little bit more, which brings the energy and the fun of Saturday morning practices.
Coach, just hearing that training schedule, I'm sure that requires certainly a lot of support with your two teams throughout the course of the week. How have you seen kind of these two programs, both the men's and women's, support each other throughout the course of your time there? And how important has that been in, creating that culture that you talked about and creating that identity with these two teams?
It's fun that they're getting there before I'm getting there. That's the scary part. I mean, there are many mornings when if I'm opening up the door, they're all sitting outside waiting, and that's like 4:40, 4:45, and they're already ready to go. And there's mornings like 4:55, they're already hopping in the water. I'm like, man, we start at 5, and they're hopping in on their own to get rolling. And the fun part is also, I guess, as Harrison said, is like, the underclassmen going to go wake up the upperclassmen if they're not showing up. They're holding each other accountable. And having that kind of a bond of accountability has been really, really kind of fun to watch and grow this whole season so far. We head into our first meets this weekend. So I'm really excited to see where we're at this juncture as we're heading in. It's been an exciting time.
I think as we wrap up with our two student athletes, it's just exciting to hear the energy from not only coach, but from both of you coming into this season. So, when you both have had conversations with some other leaders, within your teams about some of the goals and expectations, what have those conversations looked like? And, also for the two of you and, classmates, peers, fans across campus here, McMurry Swimming, what do you hope that they associate that with?
Our big goal on the swim team is really to go out this year and get a conference championship for the men's team. We think we have the people who we can go out and win one. So now it's just time to go out and prove it. Yeah.
I'd have to say for the women's, it's coming in with a whole new team, and it's different talent levels and learning and adapting to what talent we have and using it and implementing it. So with just the family dynamic of it, of learning each other, growing together, and just improving every day, just to see the results, to see what we accomplished together. So I would definitely say having everyone see the family close bond and the encouragement of it and the excitement is super cool.
Finally, Coach, just giving you the last word here as we close things out. What do you want fans to notice about this team when they're there watching this group on deck throughout the course of the year? What have you learned about this team that has you excited, that you want fans to know about these two groups heading into the season?
That they're a family, that they really go out there and they support one another. They help one another. I mentioned before, holding each other accountable to them. And I think to see them gel as early in the season as that they have is really a lot of fun. And we have some very dynamic group. We have some real great characters on the team that make it a lot of fun and enjoyment. And I want people to see, even though we have a really odd and early morning schedule, they're having fun. They're enjoying their time together at that early morning hour. They're doing things together. And that's really about the bonds of friendship that these guys are going to have once they depart this program.
McMurry University head men's and women's swimming and diving coach Mark Jedow, along with leadership from senior Harrison Brown on the men's side and junior Natalie Liles on the women's side. Coach Harrison, Natalie, thanks so much for your time today, and best of luck as you continue to march forward throughout the rest of the 2025-26 season.
All right, thank you.